This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 2948. The Cave You Fear to Enter Hides the Treasure You Seek, by Redzic of Redzic.com. And I'm Justin Malik, your personal narrator, reading to you every day, hoping to help both you and me find a little more happiness, inspiration, and motivation in our day. So with that, let's get right to our next article and continue optimizing your life. The Cave You Fear to Enter Hides the Treasure You Seek, by Redzic of Redzic.com. There's a cave within each of us that we fear to enter. This metaphorical cave is hardwired into our psyche and is filled with traits, feelings, and experiences we are ashamed of, don't understand, and frequently disown. Together they form unconscious beliefs, habits, and attitudes that direct our life, often without us even realizing. Your conscious beliefs, the things you write down or share with others, are only a part of the equation. Unless you face, understand, and integrate what's unconscious, i.e. enter the cave, you'll likely fall short of your dreams, limit your true potential, and even become your worst enemy. This cave began forming early in your life. Maybe you had a rough childhood, felt weird or inadequate, were bullied, or experienced a lack of rejection in some form. And most of us have. You responded to these events by coping, internalizing, and sometimes acting out. This served an evolutionary purpose. As you grew up, these responses morphed into beliefs about yourself and others, rendering certain parts of who you are as inadequate or unacceptable. These are your perceived flaws, tribulations, and personality traits. You and I will refer to these as your monsters. Due to their uncomfortable and scary nature, your brain relegated them to the deepest parts of your unconsciousness. But make no mistake, they've been directing your life all along, usually keeping you stuck in the fear, self-doubt, and replication of past experiences. And they'll keep doing so until you face them. And thankfully, there's a way to do it. Shine the light on your monsters. Monsters require one thing in order to thrive: to remain hidden in the dark, away from your awareness. They rejoice when they aren't seen. Pushing them down, ignoring, or denying their existence only gives them more power. Like a kid who's scared of a monster under the bed, seeing is the only way of believing that there's actually nothing to be afraid of. Shining light on your monsters lets you see them for what they really are. Let's try it. What are some of your monsters? Write down as many as you can or feel comfortable to share with yourself. Some examples could be, the reason I keep chasing wrong relationships is because I'm afraid I'm actually not lovable. Or, I don't find meaning in my work because I never wanted this, but I did it because I felt I had to. Or, I feel lethargic and depressed because the narrative in my childhood taught me that I'm not deserving of authentic happiness, so I'm stuck going through the motions. Or I keep self-sabotaging because I'm actually afraid of success. Writing your monsters down allows you to see them and own up to them. Feeling uncomfortable yet? Good, it's natural. Keep going. The next step is to connect with and understand your monsters. Where did they come from? What experience introduced them into your life? Did you realistically have any control over it? How did that circumstance, belief, or trait make you feel? What did they teach you to feel and believe about yourself or the world? What decisions have you made, or what situations have you found yourself in today that are driven by these beliefs? Everything in our life has a purpose to advance our growth, and the same is true of our monsters. The key is to get curious about them and ultimately ask ourselves, can I accept the monsters as something that had to be a part of my life's journey and has a bigger purpose, perhaps one I can't yet see? For example, if you're bullied, you might be inclined to bully others, or you can use the painful lessons to stand up for those bullied. If you're disabled in some way, maybe that has taught you or can teach you compassion and understanding. If you're struggling to answer these questions, it's okay. Try working it out with a trusted friend, a therapist, or a coach. The goal is to befriend these monsters so you not only understand how you've been directed by them, but to flip them and the beliefs they fueled so they benefit you and your future. Finally, congratulations. You've now joined the ranks of only about 35% of humans who are capable of this type of courageous and deep reflection. All of us have parts of ourselves we'd rather not have, see, or admit. But whether we admit them or not, the truth doesn't change. However, when we accept them and use them as guides, we free ourselves and let the best within us shine through. The process can get messy and confusing, but the outcome is that you realize that your monsters are actually your biggest allies, not your enemies, for they contain the inspiration and wisdom to develop courage, strength, confidence, and empathy within you. This will lead you to becoming a better version of yourself, a self that is healed, integrated, and embraces life fully and authentically. You just listened to the post titled, "The Cave You Fear to Enter Hides the Treasure You Seek" by Audie Redzic of audieredzic.com. Thank you to Audie. I do think this can be a great exercise and can't argue that the monsters tend to really thrive and grow in the dark, but the more they're exposed, the less power they have. I first learned about that in a cognitive behavioral therapy book, but often with these monster analogies, I like to change it to something less scary or evil, maybe even something funny, so that not only are we shining light on it, but also diminishing its value as a negative thing. Just by making it a monster, I think it gives it a little bit of extra power that we instead could be taking away. Just a slight difference in how I see it, but in any case, definitely worth looking into. And like he said, struggling to answer those questions is normal and okay. It can help to try to work it out with a friend, partner, therapist, or even trying to write it out and then throwing it away after could work better than trying to simply think about it. You never know what will work best for you until you try. But hopefully you will try it out. I think there's a lot to gain. But that should do it for today and another edition of OLD. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with another post where your optimal life awaits.